Hello and welcome to my space here. I have a mindful movement sequence for you called Be Your Own Lover. So today I'm going to teach you how to be your own lover, how to really romance yourself, right? I love helping people romance themselves. I love romancing myself. And I did come here to teach unconditional love, not necessarily romantic love, but I feel like, romantic love is a thing that a lot of us desire, and I think that romantic love is also something that has been very distorted in our society, kind of this like savior, and once I find the right person then everything will be right again in my life, and I'll feel this happiness and I'll feel this romance and I'll feel this beautiful connection. But what we're realizing and what we're waking up to is that we're not going to have that with another person if we don't have it with ourselves. So of course today I'm going to be teaching you how to romance yourself, how to be your own lover, but I am going to invite drum roll please, to introduce my imaginary boyfriend. And what I mean by that is connecting with, energetically, especially if you believe in soulmates, or if soulmates are something that you're trying to, if you're trying to attract a soulmate, somebody that's, if you're wanting expansive love, this deep, romantic, intimate, beautiful love, if you're wanting that and that's something that you're seeking, then I'm glad you're here, because I'm going to teach you how to attract that by really getting in the energy and emanating your own frequency of love, connecting to your own feminine energy. And as I mentioned, my imaginary boyfriend, what I want you to keep in mind is that treat and kind of see your physical body as your boyfriend, right? Or girlfriend. Remember, gender doesn't apply here. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but gender does not apply here. So kind of treat your body as you would want your partner to treat you, or to romance you, or to love you. So first we're going to work on the first thing I have. We're going to listen to 2 songs. I'll leave the 2 that I'm going to be listening to below. If those aren't your thing, then go ahead and find something else. That's perfectly okay. The idea is just kind of to get you up and connecting to your body, right? I want you to feel really beautiful and really sexy and really strong and really confident in your body. And especially if you're wanting to, spice up a relationship you're already in, or if, you're single and you're wanting to romance yourself, you're wanting to feel that connection, especially if you feel you're working towards your goals and you're maybe, creating something for yourself, and it's requiring you to be alone, it's requiring you to be single, it's requiring you to work on your, finances, or it's requiring you to work on your career or your purpose or your healing, whatever it is for you. If you want to still feel romantic in those moments of being single, you certainly can, and I'm going to teach you, because it's so important to feel romanced and to feel loved and to feel, wanted. But we have to really learn how to want yourself. So this is a really great tool for, healing the relationship with your body, healing your body image, because a lot of our, insecurities stem from this very limiting societal belief about what beauty is. And a lot of us, look to our bodies to feel really beautiful, and we're always wanting to fix and change and pick out different parts of our body that we wish were different or that we could change, right? It's not about changing those things. It's really about falling in love with those things, loving yourself for those things, loving yourself, for the things that you tend to criticize or judge about yourself, or you're really hard on yourself about. Maybe it's your stomach, or maybe it's your thighs, or maybe it's your butt, or maybe it's your teeth, or maybe whatever it is for you. We all have those things, but it's learning to see the beauty in them and see that they don't take away from our beauty just because we don't look a certain way, or we don't look the way that we've been taught to look, or we just whatever it is for you that makes you feel you're not valuable enough. This will really help you to feel very good about yourself. So we're going to start with, and I'm going to play the song kind of quietly on my end so that I can continue to teach you and help you. What we're going to learn how to do is learn how to receive affectionate touch. Because maybe you want to be touched very gently and you want to be touched very lovingly, but you don't know how to receive that because maybe you were never taught that. Maybe nobody was ever gentle and loving towards you, especially as a child. Maybe you didn't receive hugs, or you didn't receive gentle, nurturing touch. Maybe your mother wasn't very nurturing or very loving, or didn't treat you how to, love your body. Maybe she taught you how to criticize your body, or judge your body, or shame your body, or, and, a lot of women have been taught this, and that's why they, their children are learning it too. So the way we can heal this, this wound, and then it stops you from comparison and competing and this energy of envy or lack. So not only is it going to boost your romantic life, it's also going to help your your friendships and your other relationships, especially with your children, when you can be a lot more gentle and affectionate and loving, towards yourself, you're going to be that way towards your children, you're going to be that way towards your spouse, your partner, you're going to be, that way towards your friends, and you're going to really be able to feel really safe and connected to your body, and then that makes you, that makes you attractive, that makes you beautiful, like taking care of yourself and, being kind to yourself, talking kindly to yourself, treating yourself nicely by what you put into your body, like by what you eat, by how you talk to it, by the way, whatever it is, there's a lot of different ways we can, harm or punish our bodies, but when we begin to, take care of ourselves and love ourselves unconditionally, love our flaws, love everything about ourselves, even, if it's not the most, socially accepted, there's like this idea that your body is, it has to look a certain way in order for it to be deemed beautiful and worthy, and that's just total garbage BS. Like, no, your body is beautiful regardless of what it, you've been told it has to look like. Like, if you grew up, in that society of watching, magazines and of women being photoshopped and not being true to who they are, being slimmed down, or, pieces of them basically being cut off, like, and so, like, our belief of beauty has really been distorted. It can really cause a lot of, mental illness, and that's what creates, like, binge eating disorders or eating disorders or addictions or, body dysmorphia. It's really, it's more of a mental, disorder than it is a physical, like, eating disorder than it is something physical, because it starts mental. So if you can start doing these things for yourself, and instead of going, and criticizing yourself, can you take some time out of your day to romance yourself and make yourself feel really beautiful, make yourself feel turned on, make yourself feel lit, make yourself feel happy and beautiful and connected to your body. Like, it doesn't matter what your body looks like. You can love it now how it is. You don't have to change. You don't have to lose a certain amount of weight. You don't have to change anything about yourself right now in this moment. You are that beautiful energy. You have to just connect with that part of you. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do today. So, yes, I'm going to start with the first song here. And that's going to be kind of more like, and you can kind of imagine if you, do these things for yourself, even if you're already in a relationship, as you begin to, show up for yourself in a new way, you're going to show up in your relationship in a new way, in a way that makes you feel confident and sexy and strong. And, like, we hear about men romancing women all the time, but what about women romancing their men? Like, when, like, we're allowed to do that as well, and it can actually be very healing for men and allow them to lay down their guards and allow their heart to open, because, we're kind of taking the lead, and we're leading from this place of vulnerability, from this place of, and being very affectionate towards them, being very loving, being very kind, touching them, kissing them, making them feel wanted, romancing them. So I think a lot of times, just as much as, men can be romancing us, we can romance them too. We can give them, this sense of unconditional love, because we're loving ourselves. And, when we, sometimes, take the action and be more assertive, it depends. Like, you have to really be listening to your own intuition, and you have to form a really deep connection with your body, because there's going to be times when, you're going to need to be more receptive towards your man and allowing him to take the lead, but then you're going to have to also sometimes, especially if they're hurting, how can you be really gentle to them? If you can see that they're, struggling mentally, how can you help support them? And the only way you're going to recognize that they're struggling mentally or they're struggling emotionally is by really becoming self-aware and recognizing those patterns within yourself. And as you really begin to become more self-aware, and you manage your own anxiety, and you manage your own, you create and you take responsibility for your emotions of love and happiness and connection, then that's going to, allow the relationship to deepen as a result. Or, that's what you're going to attract, is you're going to attract this person, that's going to be very intimate and loving and affectionate and kind, because that's how you're being. So that's what you attract in the external world. Whatever you are being is what's going to be reflected back to you. So who are you being, and getting really in tune to, your behaviors, and especially your patterns about love. Go back to your childhood, go back to your parents. How did you watch them love each other? Was it bickering, arguing, fighting, calling each other names, putting each other down, breaking up? Was it like, what was it? Was it a shit show? Or was it like, something that was very stable and just strong and secure? Like, that's going to really determine how you know how to love. So you can either think love is pain and it's fighting and arguing and, name calling and putting each other down all the time and feeling stuck and feeling helpless and feeling powerless to change, or it can feel very, it can feel like very a safe place for you to grow and evolve and change and discover more about who you are. So, really, there's two different spectrums, and depending on what you grew up watching and observing, that's going to be your love blueprint. That's what's going to, that's what's going to be your love belief. So you have to really get into your love beliefs and what did you grow up watching love is. Because if it was unhealthy or toxic in any way, that's what your belief system is. And so you're going to have to learn how to treat yourself. And it all starts with you, right? So that's why self-love is literally, the most important thing in my opinion right now. And you can see that so many people are in need of self-love. Like they need this feeling of connection, this feeling of love, this feeling of support. And it's not just physical, like financial. It's also there's the support of emotional support. And especially men, they're needing lots of emotional support because they're tapping into emotions that, that have been repressed for a very, very, very long time, and they're not used to being in their emotions. It can cause a lot of anxiety, it can cause a lot of, addiction, it can cause a lot of fear. So it's going to require a lot of forgiveness, it's going to require a lot of, compassion and understanding. And that's why I'm here to teach you to develop more of your feminine energy, because the feminine energy flows. She is flexible. I have my flowers here with me. My roses today are on the verge of dying, but I did get them last Friday, so they're doing good, and I just love the presence of them. Even as they die, they're beautiful, right? So allow your relationships with people, allow your relationships to die or to go through cycles. And I don't mean like die, but just like let things go, like move on. You have to move beyond. You have to extend each other forgiveness, like especially if you have hurt each other in the past, but you're willing to grow and you're willing to change and you're willing to do things differently so that you can love each other. Like, then that's mutual respect and really understanding, this is what I need from you, so that we can allow this relationship to grow and evolve. But if you don't know what you need, then you're not going to be able to express that in a healthy way. And instead, you're going to unconsciously react from all your subconscious wounding, and it's going to project, and it's going to create like dysfunction or blow-ups or, arguments, or this energy of feeling stuck or feeling like trapped in some way. So you're not. And when we can really begin to see what we need to give to ourselves in order to feel loved, then we don't no longer become dependent on somebody to make us feel loved. And even if we think that love is pain or harm, we can allow ourselves to walk away or to remove ourselves from a situation because we respect ourselves enough to know that that isn't love and I don't deserve that. And so I have to learn how to take the action to remove myself from that situation so that I'm no longer harming myself. So a lot of us have been taught that love is harmful, so we harm ourselves unconsciously all the time because we think that's what we deserve, because that's what we received in childhood. So you do that inner child healing work, and you use your imaginary boyfriend, right? Go back to being a child, and imagine that love and that that family, that happiness that you've always wanted for yourself. Imagine that, but be on your own and take care of yourself, and instead of relying on somebody else to make you feel happy, create your own feelings through your actions that you take, like by getting up and listening to your favorite songs and dancing and imagining your partner with you. Especially if they're not here, or if you have to spend time apart, or if you have to place boundaries. Sometimes it's going to require you to place boundaries in places where you've never placed a boundary before. So first it's going to feel like betrayal. Before it feels healthy, it's going to feel like betrayal, and you're going to feel so much guilt, and you're going to feel so much shame for placing boundaries that need to be placed. So you're going to have to be really gentle with yourself, and that's why it's so important to develop self-compassion and self-love, because it's going to be sad. You're going to feel sad when you have to walk away, or you have to place a boundary, and just for your own self-respect. And it's going to require you to heal emotionally and to cry and to be really sad and to feel those emotions deeply in your body instead of running away from them. And that's how we really connect that relationship with our body. And like I was saying in the beginning, that energy of treat your body like it was your boyfriend. How would you want, how would you want to be treated? And then treat yourself like that, by taking care of your body, taking care of your health, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your, whatever it is, so that you feel really stable and strong and secure on the inside. And that's what makes you very beautiful and attractive, is when you can, meet somebody else's, stuff, like their own trauma and their own wounding, their own baggage, with this energy of compassion and understanding, and your relationship is gonna take on a totally different dynamic that allows for it to evolve and grow. Or like I said, if somebody's not willing to grow and do the work with you, then we're gonna have to place boundaries and say no and walk away, and then we have to deal with the sadness, the grief that's gonna come with that. So as much as we're learning how to love here, we're learning how to release emotions and how to let go and how to surrender. And that's totally the Queen of Cups. That's who I'm working with this week, as a way to just feel really compassionate and loving towards myself, forgiving towards myself, and just extending myself lots of love, lots of compassion, lots of understanding, lots of empathy. Like I said, we can't do that for other people until we're doing it for ourselves. And one day it will become just a habit to be kind to yourself. What a concept, right? I can't believe it either, that for most of us, it's normal for us to just hate ourselves, but it has to become a habit for us to be kind to ourselves. Like, it takes work. And it does. It requires you to be still. It requires you to take time and be by yourself. And a lot of times we put everybody before us, and a lot of women have been taught to do that, to be that martyrdom, and then they put themselves last, and then they feel resentment or anger or bitterness, especially towards their partners, or maybe even sometimes towards their children, and they're just annoyed, and they're always on edge, and they're defensive. And so this will really teach you how to soften, how to be gentler towards yourself, to be more forgiving and not so hard on yourself. Maybe you were taught to be really hard on yourself, and I want you to learn how to be really soft and gentle and nurturing and kind to yourself, because you deserve that. As much as you deserve structure and discipline and putting in the work, it also has to come from this place of gentleness. It can't come from this place of force, I need to fix myself, or I need to heal myself, or I need to be better. You can't be so hard on yourself and yeah. You have to be really gentle. You have to be really kind to yourself, so you can do these little acts of these little mindful movement acts that will help you to just have some fun and to lighten up and to be gentle and kinder toward yourself, because you deserve that. There's going to be times in our life when we're growing and we're evolving and we're changing. We're going to want more. We're going to want different things for ourselves, and it can feel like we're failing or we're behind or we're not doing enough. But you are enough. You have enough and you're doing enough. Just really remind that towards yourself, is that you already have enough. But it's okay to want more and to work harder to reach those things. But at the same time, because you're working harder on a new level, you're also going to have to love yourself on a new level, because you're going to meet challenges and obstacles, and you're going to have to be able to face those with flexibility, with softness, with compassion. You're going to have to be able to let go and move in a new direction when things don't always go your way. So it allows you to be more receptive and open to challenges, right? And you become more emotionally resilient. And you're no, I know I can do this. I might have to shift my plan. I might have to do something different. But, and when you step out of that comfort zone, that's when your mind's going to be really hard on you. It's going to judge you. It's going to criticize you. All your doubts going to arise. And those are the moments you're going to have to be the most self-loving towards yourself. Where can I take a break? Where can I take a step back? Where can I, really reflect on how far I've come? How can I focus on my beauty? How can I focus on my strength? How can I focus on my power? And then taking those little breaks and taking those times out to just focus on you and fill yourself up. And that's what the Queen of Cups teaches us, is when we're feeling really low and we're feeling very depleted, we can connect to this part of us that's infinitely connected to source, and allows for us to surrender our worries and surrender our doubts, our fears, let them go, and then just allow ourselves to kind of be held in this loving, gentle, beautiful embrace, and hugging yourself. And one of my favorite things, which we're going to get into now, is feeling think about, this is something I've had to learn how to receive, because I'm not used to receiving affectionate, kind, loving touch. Or I didn't watch my parents, love each other romantically or affectionately. They weren't very touchy-feely or, very gentle towards each other. So it's something I've really had to learn how to teach myself. So, I just like to imagine, I like to start off really slow, because it's just about connecting to your body, and it's about sensuality, connecting to what feels good. Because not only does this, feel good on my body and it makes me feel sexy, but it feels it just stretches my hips, it stretches my lower back, and you're just kind of touching your body. You're wanting to anchor towards your body and just get those hips involved, and making yourself feel really stable, making yourself feel really strong. I love to grab my breasts and kind of massage them and squeeze them and allow them to this allows my heart chakra to open. So believe me, if I can do this on YouTube, you can do this in the privacy of your own home. And like I said, make it your own. Get into it. If the songs that I pick don't really, resonate for you or do it for you, then find something that does. And then just take this time out each day to kind of just make yourself feel really good and get yourself turned on, right? Because then when we feel turned on, then we feel, we are casting out all the darkness, all the doubt, all the worry, all the fear. And we're just here in this present moment, feeling lit, feeling good about ourselves, And like I said, you can imagine your lover behind you. And you're being your own lover, but they can benefit from it too as well. So, allowing yourself to shake your butt, and a lot of us have a lot of shame around our butts and our bodies, and this just helps you kind of form that healthy relationship with them. Yes, my butt is sexy, even though my butt is not what I want it to be, or what it, the standard butt is supposed to look like, but it's still my butt, and I still love it, and I'm still gonna, feel sexy in my own body. So, rather than comparing yourself, like, have you ever just stood in the mirror and just, like, pulled your skin up, or, like, wanted to change any part of your body? Instead of doing that, every time you catch yourself doing it, because I still do it sometimes to this day, instead of doing that, like, start to dance and put on your favorite songs and just, be with your body and, like, tell yourself, I love you, body. Like, you're sexy, body. I love you. And, make sure you laugh at yourself, because you're going to feel very, very weird as you, if you've never done this before, or it's not, you're not used to taking time out just for you. It's going to feel like, no, this is not right. I have 500 different other things I could do right now. But seriously, this time is valuable. This time with yourself, loving yourself, you're filling yourself up, all that love you want to receive from outside of you, from a partner. Because a lot of times we think, oh, once I have this partner, then I'm going to feel all this love, And sure, will you feel love, especially right away? Probably. But, you have to make it last. So you have to really, when, it fades, can you still feel that sense of love every day and every moment? Because that's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to feel love and to not wait for it to come from outside of you in order to believe that you're worthy of it. So this will help you learn how to receive it, because maybe at first you're not going to be used to receiving love like this. And like spending this time. Can you imagine spending this time with your partner? Just like using this time to connect with one another? Because, passion and romance and, sex, it's energetic before it's physical. So, as you get yourself turned on, then you can, kind of, turn each other on. Then it's kind of just that, energy that goes back and forth. But because it's being self-filled, it can almost be endless and never ending, and you allow yourself to give and receive in equal measure. So yeah, I like this one because it, just makes you feel really sexy, it makes you feel turned on, makes you feel good in your body. And healthy love will make you feel really safe. You'll be able to express yourself like this. You'll feel very vulnerable, but it's also about learning how to, like I said, express yourself authentically, do what feels good to you, and what I'm doing might not be the same thing that you want to do. Allow your body to move in its own way, and that's about forming your connection with your body. Connecting the relationship to your body is so important, and how you treat your body and how the relationship you have with your body will really reflect in, all your relationships, especially romantic and intimate ones. So I like to get the butt involved, and and you can imagine rubbing your booty on your man's junk, if you want. That's something you want to imagine if you really want to get into it. Like, you have a good idea of, the kind of person you're calling in, or maybe you've connected with this person before. So allowing yourself to, like, use your imagination, get into it. It's like a meditation practice, but it's just more active. And I don't know about you, but sometimes, sometimes I can't just sit still in meditation. Sometimes I need to be moving, and dancing really allows me to feel like, it helps my mind clear, but also makes me feel very connected to source. And that's when I feel the most in alignment, honestly. So then as you just do this for yourself, this makes you very attractive, and not in a, physical way. It has nothing to do with your physical body. Try to think of it just as energetic, as you're feeling, as you're connected with source, and you're not desperately clinging to the physical world, you're not desperately clinging to, your partner, and you're connected and you're aligned with, this endless support within you, then that makes you attractive, because it's a very stable energy. And so if you think about the world today, it's very unstable. It's not very stable right now. And, you can kind of think of the tower energy and tarot, and, allowing it to, that's an energy of breakthroughs, and having these breakthroughs within yourself that allow for you to see yourself in a new light. And yeah, it's going to blow out part of your foundation, but you're going to have to, it gives you that opportunity to go ahead and rebuild, and to build a stronger foundation, and to build something stronger within yourself, and that's kind of the importance of relationships, in my opinion. Is like, you're going to have these moments where something blows out, right? Or you have this kind of like breakdown, or you have this breakthrough, and things need to shift, or things need to be rebuilt, or you need to reevaluate. So that's fine. Those moments in relationships are very important, and they're very, important, segues, like what they're going to direct your relationship. These, these opportunities that seem like they are blow-ups, or they're, it's just an opportunity to reevaluate, what do we need to make this stronger, or, it's like allowing it to break down. And things in your life are going to break down all the time, but it just gives you an opportunity to rebuild something even stronger. And then you just build yourself from the inside out, and you feel really strong, and you can meet these tower moments in your life with more, flexibility. And that's the Queen of Cups too, is like that water energy. Be more flexible, and think about the water. It erodes the rock over time. So your emotions are powerful, and let them direct you, let them guide you, let them show you, let them guide you through your relationship. And if you feel really, unsafe, or if you feel really unstable in a relationship, looking at yourself and working on where you can feel more secure within yourself. And I promise, doing these little things for yourself, these little self-love tips, will help you feel more secure. Because I had a very anxious attachment. Actually, I'm more avoidant anxious. So I have both ends of the spectrum, where sometimes I can be very avoidant and withdrawn, or sometimes I can be very anxious and clingy. So it just depends. And sometimes I can get really anxious, or sometimes I can get very, depressed. So just managing your attachment style, and really learning your attachment style. And what is it? Are you more anxious? Are you more, tend to cling? Or are you more avoidant, and you don't, you spend time away from the relationship, and you don't really, want intimacy or closeness, or maybe you're a mixture of both, like I was. But then you just create the security within yourself that allows for you to be more intimate, because you desperately want intimacy, but you've been taught to avoid it because you didn't receive it as a child. So if you can begin to receive it and do these things for yourself, you train your body and your nervous system how to receive, support emotionally. And we all desire that as humans. We need that. We need emotional support. But our society has stripped us of our emotions. And so it can make us feel very isolated and alone. I mean, we're connected 24/7, and yet most of us feel alone all the time, It's just this very sad energy, because we're not allowing ourselves to express our emotions. But as soon as you do, it opens up this floodgate, right? And it allows your life to go in so many different directions, because you're having new experiences on an intimate level. You're diving deeper. Emotions, create more intimacy in relationships. So when you can create a very healthy relationship with your emotions, and your emotions signal to you through your body. So, that's why I'm so into forming a relationship with your body. Because as you form a relationship with your body, you form a relationship with your emotions, you form a relationship with your nervous system, and it allows you to guide and navigate your relationships with ease. And you can feel like you can grow, and you can evolve, and you can change, and you can allow more love, more peace, more connection, more intimacy, more passion, and you just allow more and more and more. But you're just diving deeper into different levels and layers of yourself. And the deeper you dive into yourself, of course, the deeper the other person is going to, dive within themselves to meet you there, right? That's the idea. So never settle, just because you think that, oh, I'm too much, or like I can hold too much, because a lot of times a lot of women will settle rather than, being the highest version, the most loving, caring, healthiest, wealthiest version of themselves. That should be our mission as women. And then as a result of being in that energy, that will attract everything we want, like the abundance, the money, the stability, the security, the passion, the love, the romance, the partner, the children, the family, whatever. Well, but it's our job to focus on, making ourselves feel happy, making ourselves feel strong, focusing on our mental health, focusing on our emotional health, focusing on our physical health, building ourselves up. And really doing it for ourselves gives us this sense of empowerment. And then we don't need to be saved, right, from that old archaic story of like we need to be saved and rescued by a knight in shining armor. You do not. That's why you're here to be your own lover. Okay, so last one. Speaking of which, I'm going to be listening to Lover by Taylor Swift, because she really inspired this whole, I'm going to be launching a new membership in December for, it's called The Divine Romance, and I'll be teaching all different sorts of things, like guided meditations, guided dance sequences, guided breath work, guided stretching, and what else? There's one more thing. I'll just be doing a lot of just different guided things to help you feel it's like self-love work, self-awareness. And yeah, you'll be able to access that membership to get all those, little goodies to, make yourself feel really good. And anyway, so it's called The Divine Romance, and I'll be teaching the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. It's based off a book that I was led to at the beginning of my healing journey, and it really impacted me and taught me how, and connecting with his spirit has really taught me how to be my own lover. So, and when Taylor came out with that, the album Lover, it just was like such a like an inspiration, and her work is always inspiring me to come up with different ideas. And her album Lover actually made me really want to dance and really want to move, and it helped me, when I was going through a really hard time. And so that's why I loved the idea of be your own lover, so yeah, that's the song I chose for this, because this one we're gonna use our imaginary boyfriend here. So if you're all alone, then that's okay, because we have our imaginary boyfriend. And this is one of my favorite things, because dancing allows for it teaches you how to receive and allow, to kind of allow that masculine energy within you to take the lead and kind of guide you, and you can kind of surrender to him, really. But remember, gender doesn't apply. Yeah, you just imagine your boyfriend that's here, or your husband, or whatever it is, or your king, whatever you want to imagine. But staying really focused on your core, right? And you're gonna feel this energy in your heart chakra that just allows for you to expand. But sometimes I like to break off onto my own, Allow yourself to be in the quiet. This is literally a form of meditation, especially to do with your partner. If you have your partner, that's great. Use them in the physical too, but you need to work up your own courage to do that. And practice all by yourself, or with me. Especially in the Divine Romance membership, you'll be able to practice with me. And you'll have those videos anytime. So it's really a great investment. You can, it'll be a monthly membership. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for that. Just make yourself feel like a queen or a princess, ah. Yeah, and just kind of allow yourself to play too. And you're going to want that in your relationships. More playfulness, more lightheartedness, more, flirtation, right? Sometimes we can be really serious, so this allows for us just kind of just kind of break out of your shell and just feel really connected to yourself. But also very innocent and free and lighthearted. Because, you want to feel really pleasurable, and you want to feel really, safe. You might feel very laughy or giggly, or just imagine if you had your lover there, how would you feel? And creating that feeling all for yourself before it happens, because then you're living it. You are it. I love twirling. Well, my inner child really loves it too. So just, treating yourself like you would want your lover to, right? And taking that time to create that space to make yourself feel very loved and to feel very connected to your body, and to just kind of raise your vibration, get you feeling kind of, lighthearted and playful. Because maybe, you're going to have stressful, hard days, or you're going to have days where you're not feeling the best, but how can you take care of yourself in those moments? How can you get up and, play some music and dance? Literally it's those little things that are going to make such a big difference in your relationships. And if you can start to show up for yourself, you'll teach your children how to show up for themselves and how to create their own happiness, and how to, take care of their own mental health, how to take care of their emotional health, how to respect their bodies, how to love their bodies, how to take care of them. So just that's a really good example. And I think especially as women, we need to set better examples but we have to start with ourselves. So be really easy and gentle and compassionate towards yourself, and just become, allow yourself to grow in your own time. There's no forcing, there's no pushing. Be really patient, be very gentle, very kind to yourself. Be kind to your mind, be kind to your body, and I'll be back next time. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was healing for you. And you can check out all my services. I'll leave the information below, or you can follow me on Instagram, and I'll leave that information below as well. So take care, sending you lots of love.